Stop for a moment. Look at your life. Not the life you've been dreaming of, but the one you are currently standing in. Look at the desires you've been chasing, the goals you've been visualizing for months, and the dreams that always seem to stay just one more technique away. Now, I want you to ask yourself a dangerous question. Why do you still want them? In the logic of the Matrix, wanting is a virtue. We are taught that hunger is the fuel for success. But in the logic of the soul, wanting is a confession of lack. If you were truly successful, you wouldn't be trying to be successful. If you were truly loved, you wouldn't be searching for love. The act of wanting is the loudest declaration you can make to the universe that you do not have. You have been sold a spiritual lie. You've been taught the law of attraction as if it were a cosmic vending machine. Insert a few positive thoughts. Wait for the prize. This is what we call the beggar's mentality. It keeps you in a state of perpetual seeking. And in this simulation, as long as you are seeking, you are confirming that you are empty. Today, we move beyond the hunger of the ego. We are going to stop wishing and start being. We are going to reveal why your desire is actually just a shadow of a reality that is already yours. And how to finally step into that light. Welcome to the end of seeking. Welcome to pure spiritual wisdom. The law of attraction, as it is taught to the masses, is an intellectual trap. It creates a violent duality. It tells you that you are over here, in this reality of struggle, and your dream is over there, separated by the illusion of time and effort. Think about what happens when you sit in your room and repeat affirmations, like a mantra. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. While you say the words, your subconscious is looking at your empty bank account and screaming the truth. It knows you are lying. It feels the resistance. Every time you say, I will have, you are reinforcing the fact that I don't have now. You are pushing your desire further into a future that never arrives. This is why the Matrix loves positive thinking. It keeps you on the hamster wheel of trying. But effort is a byproduct of the belief that the world is solid and resistant. If you believe you have to attract something from the outside, you are admitting that you are not the source. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. You want the reflection to smile. You don't reach out and try to pull the corners of the reflection's mouth up with your hands. That would be insane. And yet, that is how most people manifest. They try to manipulate the reflection on the outside world instead of simply smiling themselves. To change the reflection, you must change the one who stands before the mirror. You must stop trying to paint the glass and instead change your face. To understand the law of assumption, we must listen to the architects who saw through the veil. Chief among them was Neville Goddard. His core realization was simple. The world is yourself pushed out. There is no one to change but yourself. There is no one to plead with, no universe to ask, and no karma to negotiate with. The screen of space is merely a canvas where your internal state is projected. The law of assumption is the act of psychological sovereignty. It states that to change your life, you must live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now, you do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. Assumption is the art of identity. Theft from your own future. You must go into the mental landscape of the version of you that already has what you desire. You must ask, how does that version of me breathe? How do they walk? How do they react to a crisis? Think of it like a restaurant. When you order your food, you don't go into the kitchen every 5 minutes to check if the chef is actually cooking. You don't visualize the steak appearing. You simply sit down, talk to your friends, and assume the food is coming. That quiet certainty, that total lack of anxiety is the frequency of creation. If you are still anxious, you haven't ordered yet. You are still looking at the menu. Assumption is the moment you close the menu and know that the meal is already yours. Let us bridge this to the science of the now. Why does the Matrix bow to an assumption? We know from the observer effect that everything exists as a wave of probability until it is witnessed. But what determines which version of your life the wave collapses into? It is the identity of the observer. Quantum physics suggests that we live in a multiverse sea of infinite timelines occurring simultaneously in the now. There is a version of you, right now, who is already abundant. There is a version who is already healed. These are not distant places. They are different frequencies in the same space. When you wish from a place of lack, you stay anchored to your current, limited frequency. You are looking at the other timeline from the outside. But when you assume, you perform a quantum leap. Think of a radio. The classical music and the rock music are both being broadcast at the same time. If you don't like the music you're hearing, you don't fight the speakers. You don't beg the radio to change. You simply tune the dial to a new frequency. Assumption is tuning your internal dial. By feeling the reality of your goal as a present fact, you shift your resonance to match the timeline you want. The moment your subconscious accepts the new state is true, the old world collapses, and the new world begins to crystallize. This is why working hard in the physical world is often a spiritual sickness. Effort is the attempt to move matter with matter. That works slow. Assumption is moving matter with mind. It is the shortcut through the simulation. Now we reach the peak of the mountain. The reason the law of assumption is the most powerful force in existence is because it is the direct application of non-duality. Why can you assume any state you want? Because there is no separation between you and the thing you desire. The belief that you are a person trying to get things is the fundamental illusion of the matrix. In reality, you are the awareness in which both the person and the thing exist. Imagine a movie theater. Your life is the movie on the screen. Most people spend their entire lives screaming at the screen. They want the hero to be rich, so they try to grab the light on the wall. They want the tragedy to end, so they try to tear the fabric of the screen. But the screen is just a surface. To change the movie, you have to go back to the projector booth. You have to change the film reel. That projector, that light is what we call the source. It is the I am. Before you were a name, before you were a citizen, before you were rich or poor, you simply are. I am is the unconditioned power of the Creator. When you say, I am successful, you are not making a claim about your job. You are taking the infinite light of the projector and shaping it into the form of success. The source does not wish. The source does not try. The source simply is. When you rest in this realization, you understand that you don't need to attract anything. How can you attract something that is already part of your own consciousness? You contain the universe. Assumption is the practice of remembering what you are. It is the realization that you have never been a prisoner. You are just a programmer who fell asleep at the desk. From this moment on, stop asking the matrix for permission. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop checking the outside world to see if it's working. Checking is doubting, and doubting is returning to the old frequency. Assume the state. Walk as the person you intended to be. Sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The simulation has no choice but to bow to the sovereign mind. Building this sanctuary of wisdom requires a collective resonance. If this frequency resonates with your soul, align yourself with this field. Subscribing is not only a favor to us, it is a declaration to yourself that you are ready to stop seeking and start observing. Join the movement back to the source. If your wish were a present fact right now, how would you breathe? How would you look at the world? Comment below. It is already done. I am. Anchor this new identity in the field. Let your consciousness record the collapse of the old timeline. Stop seeking, start observing. Rest in the source.